Hey everyone, you're watching The Snecker Show, where you can learn all about the finer points of hobby woodworking, all in crystal clear HD video and mediocre audio. I'm working on that part. I've been struggling with the audio part of this channel since I started it about 2 years ago. The reason for that, and maybe the reason for the audio issues in your channel if you have one, is that I'm using a cell phone as my video and audio source. And my cell phone is all the way across the room because I want you to see a big background and not just focus in on this mess right here. So the reason that the cell phone audio doesn't work so well is because cell phones are intended to pick up what's close to the phone and not pick up all of the stuff that's in the background. As far as that phone is concerned, I'm background noise. And I feel like I just set myself up to get roasted in the comments, but there, I said it. I'm background noise. Now I'm going to look at a couple of options tonight that I've found to try to improve my audio. We'll do a comparison of those and see how it makes things a little bit better. And just so you know, I started the channel with LG S7. I want to say it was an S7. Maybe I'm wrong on the nomenclature. Later I moved to a Samsung Galaxy S7. And I was using that until a couple weeks ago. That was okay, but still, all the way across the room. Now my wife finally convinced me to upgrade my old phone to a Samsung Galaxy S10e, which is not the latest version. That's the Samsung Galaxy S20, but man, it's a whole lot cheaper than the S20. That thing is like $1,300 for the top model. I got mine for $400 with a trade-in on my old piece of junk. So I'm a woodworker, I'm frugal, I gotta save money to buy toys, right? I mean tools. So I got myself a previous version phone. It's a lot cheaper, but I still have all of this echo in the background. And now we're gonna look at these two different options and see how they can change the audio. First, I want to point out, just to emphasize the point that I made earlier about the distance, as I get closer to my phone, all of a sudden the audio gets a whole lot better. And that's because this is the distance that it's intended to work at. So as I walk over here, I notice that I really want to finish this video quickly because it is just hot today. It's actually nighttime right now. Just finished a thunderstorm after a long, dry heat wave, and it's still 90 degrees in my shop. That's why I'm all sweaty. And you notice that when I walk back over here, all of a sudden the audio, it's kind of rough again. Well, let's start out with the this little boom microphone. This is from the Rode company, and this is called a VideoMic Me. And let's see if I can get a picture of this. Hopefully that'll zoom in okay. And this just plugs into the cell phone's microphone jack right there. And it's got another one in the back. I actually haven't used that. I don't know what that does. But it directs the sound towards the speaker. So I'm going to show you how this works. I got this thing about a year ago, and it's going in right now. All right, now we're switched over to the VideoMic Me. And notice that the audio is pretty good. Maybe it's a little bit different than just the built-in cell phone audio, but at least right now you're not hearing all of that road noise. And this thing probably, I don't remember, it was like $60, $80, something like that. It wasn't the most expensive option, but it was enough that it hurt a little bit. But you notice as I back across the room, once again, we have the same problem with the audio starting to get weaker as I get over here. What I've done in the past is I have boosted the audio with software. I use Power Director 17. I'm going to upgrade to 18 pretty soon, I think. But I use the software to boost the audio. The problem with using software to boost the audio is that it boosts everything else in the background too. Let's take this thing out and try something else. The next thing we're going to look at is the Rode Wireless Go, not a GoPro, that's a different thing. The Rode Wireless Go. This is a wireless microphone that clips into my collar, and then there's another piece that clips onto the camera. And there's also a microphone port in here, so I can clip this down on my belt or something, and then run a little lavalier microphone up through my shirt. I got that on order, but they're a little bit behind right now. Everybody's behind right now because of the coronavirus situation. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer for that, but I got this thing anyway. And let's see what that sounds like. And I'll give you a little tour of what it looks like. I'm going to unplug the VideoMic Me rather. And now we're back to just the regular cell phone audio, which once again probably sounds pretty good. And now I'm going to plug in the Wireless Go. And now we're switched over to the wireless Go, which I'm going to put inside my collar so that it works the way it's intended. And that's it. Now I'm wearing my microphone on my collar, and there's some benefits to this because now if I move across the room, the audio volume doesn't change any. So if I want to stand over here and talk about something, or if I want to walk right up on the camera or move the camera in front of a tool so you can have a better look at something, that's going to work out okay. And I'll show you the other end of it here. I'll point out a couple things that I learned in the process. First of all, I want to mention, if you consider buying one of these, they're pretty expensive. This was like $200 for the transmitter receiver set. But one thing that's pretty annoying is that after you spend $200 on this thing, if you want to use it on your phone, you're going to need to buy this cable separately, black to gray, right? This is the TRS to TRRS, I think. 2 rings on the 3.5 millimeter jack right here, and 3 rings here. This is what translates it over to your cell phone. The one that comes with this thing does not work with cell phone. It's intended for like real professionals who have cameras and stuff. Cameras and cell phones. Ha! That's not going to happen. Anyway, I got this thing plugged into my cell phone, and it has a 2.4 gigahertz signal connection to the one that's on my collar. So that works pretty well for improving the audio no matter where I am in the shop. There's one other thing I'll point out with this is that when you're looking at the front of this is the receiver. Yeah, the receiver. On the bottom left, there's a little thing that looks like a signal strength indicator. On the bottom of this thing, there's a button there that says dB for decibels. And this is actually, I think, there's not a whole lot of documentation on the website about this, but I think this is a decibel reduction. In other words, it reduces the strength of the audio coming from this transmitter on my collar. Apparently it's different for cell phones and just standalone cameras like crazy people use. So I'm going to hit this button. Right now I think it's on a -20, which is why that triangle isn't filled in. And now I'm up to a -10. So I'm reduced by 10 decibels. And now if I hit it one more time, this is what it sounds like without any kind of reduction whatsoever. This is probably a little closer to what it sounded like earlier when I did a software boost on my audio. It just doesn't sound natural. It's a little too strong. So let's go back to the -20. I find this to be the best setting for the cell phone audio. And it looks like I need to pop that bugger in the charger too. Battery's getting kind of low, so let's wrap this up because I'm cooking anyway. It is just really hot in here right now and it's time for bed. So if you make videos, I hope this was helpful. Again, this was like $200 for this thing, and the lavalier microphone that I'm getting separately so I can wear this on my belt and have a smaller microphone up here from the Rode company, that was like another $100. It's supposed to be pretty good. It was kind of a tough decision to make because that's a little bit of a big investment for, I'm a woodworker, I'm thrifty and practical. But, you know, I got the thing because I figured there are so many videos on my channel that just have bad audio. And there are projects that, you know, I spent a lot of time on them. Not just building the thing, but then making the video later. You know, I got things that I will never build again. Maybe I sat down for an entire weekend. You know, 2 days I was just at the computer trying to figure out how to do it right and trying to boost the audio here and trying to reduce it when I turn on the power tool and then trying to get rid of the static and the background noise and the cars and then cropping the clips and making everything fit and making things faster, making things slower. It's a lot of work. So I'd spend a couple days working on a video and then I just couldn't get the audio right. And it was frustrating and it really reduced the quality of some of the content that I put out. Hopefully this is going to fix that, and maybe I might entice you to look down at the bottom of the screen, find that subscribe button. I hate saying that. Every YouTube creator says that, and it's just annoying, I know. You just bear with me for this one time. Go down, find the subscribe button, or there's going to be my face at the end, and you can punch right on the face, and that'll subscribe you too. And there's also a little bell icon, and that's if you want to get email notifications when I post new videos about woodworking most of the time, maybe some home improvement, maybe a little bit of life philosophy too. It's the Snecker Show. You never know what you're going to get, but the audio isn't going to suck as much anymore. So if you're interested in seeing some more, click on the buttons down there, help support the channel. I would appreciate it. Before I go, I will talk a little bit about woodworking, just that much. Just wanted to point out that I didn't do a build video for this, but I'm working on a planter box it's probably going to end up inside the house, but I'm working on a planter box. So far it's made out of chestnut oak that I got from a dead tree in the yard. I sawed it up myself and dried it. And this is the crazy part. Purple heart legs. Isn't that awesome? Who uses purple heart legs? I had some purple heart sitting around, and I put this together, and it just looks so good that I thought that would be a really wild touch on there. Looks a little cloudy right now because I put on a coat of thinned epoxy and then I sanded it, so the cloudiness is just from the epoxy being sanded. This has a coat that hasn't been sanded yet, but I'm going to finish this thing up hopefully pretty soon, and maybe use it as an inside planter, because I just don't think I want to put this thing outside. But maybe I will, because you know what? When you have a workshop and you have some tools that you've built up over many, many years, and you can saw your own lumber, that lumber doesn't cost you anything anymore. So that's something I'd like to do some more videos about in the future, and show you how you can get all of your lumber for free, except for the massive investment up front on the power tools. Hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching. And I'm coming up here to get the audio better, but I guess we already fixed that problem. Hopefully in the future it's a little bit easier to hear what I'm saying, and hopefully this video was helpful to you, or at least mildly entertaining. Maybe helped you get to sleep. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and stay safe.